Thank you so very much for being back. And if you just joined us, Enterprise Weekend it is, reaching you from Enterprise Television. On our main conversation for today, we have that Rivers State High Court, sitting in Oyibo, local government area of Port Harcourt, has issued an interim injunction restraining the Rivers State House of Assembly and the Chief Judge of the state from taking further steps to impeach Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu. The order affects the Speaker of the House, 25 other lawmakers, the Clerk of the Assembly, and the Chief Judge of Rivers State, Justice Simeon Chibuzo Amadi. The court barred the Chief Judge from receiving, forwarding, considering, or acting on any resolution, impeachment notice, or related communication aimed at setting up a panel to investigate allegations of misconduct against the governor and his deputy for a period of 7 days. The ruling was delivered by Justice F.A. Fiberesima while considering a motion ex parte filed separately by Governor Fubara and his deputy. In the decision, the court also granted permission for substituted service of the interim order and other court processes on the defendants. According to the order, documents are meant for the 1st to the 31st defendants are to be served at the gate of the Rivers State House of Assembly quarters, while those meant for the Chief Judge are to be served through the staff of the Judiciary at his chambers within the High Court premises. Justice Fiberesima adjourned the matter to January of 23rd, 2026 for the hearing of the substantive motion. Emeka Madunago is still here with us. Emeka, thank you so very much for hanging on. Let's get to River State yet again. This confusion is becoming too much for Nigerians. We don't even understand again what is happening to River State. Of course, we know the remote cause. Siminalayi Fubara weakest feud, but this court rulings and dissolution of the court rulings, and just this morning I learned that the 4 lawmakers that were opposed to the impeachment have done a U-turn. Where are we right now, Emeka? Because every single minute, stories change. Where are we right now as of now?
Yeah, where we are is that Nyesom Wike is just playing. He's just playing himself, and it means.
Are you still there, Emeka? All right, I think we're having a bit of communication error there. We hope Emeka will join us quick, because it's very important that we discuss River State yet again. It seems to be a burning matter, a burning issue in Nigeria as we speak today. Lots of contending matters, lots of issues that needs to be discussed and made easy for Nigerians to understand what is happening in River State today. Siminalayi Fubara, Nyesom Wike, very good friends before now, but today they are the best of fools, lots of people would say. Now with the River State House of Assembly hoping that the Chief Judge of the state would do something to help impeach Fubara, and the court equally stating that the judge should not in any way be part of this and many more. Would the River State House members listen to some of these things? A country where rule of law is disobeyed at random, do you think this would work? Emeka Madunago, are you still here with us? So I will get Emeka ready to get talking, and just to let you know, this is Enterprise Weekend, and we are on the talk of impeachment of Governor Siminalayi Fubara. So we would go for a quick break, but just before we get that, I hope Emeka is here with us. Emeka, are you here? Are you? Okay, beautiful.
I'm here. I'm back.
Yes,
I'm back.
All right, beautiful.
Yes, the system locked down.
Yeah. All right.
So what I'm saying is that Nyesom Wike's tactics, he's beginning to, lose he has lost the plot actually. So maybe he thought, from time to time he could blackmail. He could threaten President Bola Tinubu. But Tinubu has finally got Fubara. And one thing he doesn't realize is that Tinubu doesn't love either himself or Fubara. All he just cares is how to use them. you know, for his dream second-term ambition, you know. And so that's why you see Fubara went straight Tinubu to declare allegiance without going to Nyesom Wike. And then now Wike is trying to use that to blackmail Tinubu. Well, of course, Tinubu doesn't care, but, you know, I think it's getting to the point where Tinubu might just tell him to take a walk. You know, he is trying to turn himself, you know, into someone who can cause collateral damage for Tinubu. But one thing he ought to realize is that seasons change. You know, seasons change. And he should have read the handwriting on the wall. I mean, look at yesterday, what the River State High Court, the ruling he gave that, you know, prevented the chief judge from receiving any impeachment notice from the House of Assembly. And of course, they have to comply. You cannot say,
I think he has received it this morning, Emeka. According to the latest information we have, the chief judge of the state has received it.
He can receive it, but he cannot act on it. They can take it to his office, but they cannot act on it unless the court vacates that judgment. Unless the court vacates that ruling, he cannot act on it. It's as simple as ABC. He cannot act on it. They can take it to his office. I mean, they can give it to his clerk. You know, they can actually, yes, record service, you know, but they won't, you know, he cannot act on it. And again, you need 14 days. You know, they needed 14 days, you know, I mean, within which to investigate, you know, well, the whole thing, you know, but look at what they are trying to do, you know, trying to prepare the ground because they are expecting that Tinubu will return to the country any moment from now, will return to Nigeria any moment from now. But of course, the point there is just for you to see that Nigerians, you know, have been reduced, have been so pauperized that, you know, we fight for people who oppress us, the people who work against us, we fight for them, you know, and which is very sad. You can see Tinubu, you can see Nyesom Wike. Look at these House of Assembly members. They are not talking about anything that has to do with the state or with anything that has to do with uplifting the state. All they are talking about is that the 600 billion naira budget passed by the National Assembly and handed over to the administrator, you know, to the former illegal sole administrator. That, you know, that Fubara should just keep that budget aside, you know, and do a supplementary budget that will be dictated by the House of Assembly and Wike, you know, because there are insinuations that the idea is to use that 2025 budget passed by the National Assembly as a war chest for the 2027 elections, you know. But of course, there is no need for a supplementary budget at all, which is what Governor Siminalayi Fubara has told them. There's no need for any supplementary budget. And that's why, you know, you see this House of Assembly members going back and forth. You know, those who, the four that, the two men and the two women, the two actors and the two actresses, you know, that came out, just thought that maybe, you know, that the APC will call them to a peace meeting or that President Tinubu will reach out to them, but they have been ignored. So that's why they are trying to go ahead with this thing. But their impeachment is just drama. They can't do anything. They cannot at all. I mean, it doesn't mean that if the House of Assembly says it's going to impeach a governor, that the impeachment can succeed. It doesn't follow. It doesn't follow. And it can be seen right now that the so-called master strategy that President Tinubu is just a fluke. I mean, if somebody with whom you negotiated out of other people, you negotiated with Ganduje, you negotiated with Kwankwaso, you negotiated with different people, or Jews or Carlo, you negotiated with different people across the country. You negotiated with Oshomole, you negotiated with so many people across, and just one person out of all of them is trying to hold you hostage. By the way, how many votes came from Rivers State? Let the question be asked. How many votes came from Rivers State? You know, compared to what came from other states, compared to what came, you know, what came from even Lagos. I mean, where Tinubu was defeated, you know, by P2B, of the Labour Party at that time. What came from other states? What came from Oyo State? What, you know, of course, where you know that Tinubu had a negotiation with Governor Makinde, you know, of the PDP, you know, to secure victory, you know. Then, I mean, other states. So the question, you know, is now being asked that, wait a minute, what actually did Wike contribute to this effort that he is being so audacious and, you know, I mean, and it looks like it can't be controlled. So I think the Tinubu kitchen cabinet will be working out a way to handle him in such a way that he cannot cause collateral damage to them. And I think that's where they are right now. Thank you.
But what's your take on Fayoshe's claim that Tinubu would never sacrifice Nyesom Wike for Siminalayi Fubara? What's your take on this? Is he equally stating facts, or is he just hallucinating at this point, knowing that he is a strong friend of Nyesom Wike at this point?
You have answered. The proposition has swallowed the answer. You know, I mean, it's as simple as whose interest is Fauci representing? Why is he going from TV station to TV station and saying things that don't exist? You know, why is he saying he won't? Is he Tinubu? Is he the one telling Tinubu what to do? All these things are just you know, fanciful talk, just to, you know, make Tinubu just to make it look like. In the first place, Nyesom Wike doesn't have a direct access to Tinubu. He has lost access to Tinubu. He has lost direct access to Tinubu. So all these things he's doing are just a way of trying to gain attention from Tinubu. If he had direct access to Tinubu, he would have gone to France to meet with Tinubu. But Fubara went to France to meet with Tinubu. Governor Abba Yusuf of Kano, he's said to have gone to Kano, and he's said to have gone to France to meet with Tinubu. But Wike has been unable to do that. So it just clearly tells you who can easily be sacrificed. And it's as simple as ABC that Wike, of course, is on his way out of the power calculus. Even if he's retained as a minister, it can be made redundant. Tell me how many ministers you can count in this administration that you remember their names, or you even have an idea what they are doing. You know, tell me now how many ministers, you know, whom you have an idea what they are doing. You know, so I mean, you can be in the administration but be made redundant. You know, you can just be ignored, largely ignored. You know, and then with time you'll be eased out. Who told him that Tinubu cannot? Who is Wike? Fubara is a sitting governor. Wike is a mere minister. There's a difference. There's a strategic difference. And let me tell you, in terms of who is Wike going to support? If it comes down to that, if it comes down to 2027, what alternative does what option does he have? If he had been smart enough, he wouldn't have destroyed PDP. He would have destroyed PDP. He wouldn't have destroyed PDP. But he destroyed PDP. The key elements in PDP, except former President Goodluck Jonathan, have left. So who is he going to push for? He's now fighting with Seyi Makinde. He went to court. He has gone to court to invalidate the convention held, in Oyo State, in Ibadan, under the watch of Governor Seyi Makinde. So who is he going to? I mean, Wike, of course, with all he has said, although I know he says one thing in the morning, does another thing in the afternoon. Will he? I mean, is he going to support Atiku Abubakar if he imagines the ADC candidate, or Peter Obi if he imagines the ADC presidential candidate? Who? Or is he going to support Seyi Makinde if he imagines the PDP is a presidential candidate? He has set his own house ablaze. So he doesn't have any political structure right now. He can't control the PDP in Rivers State. He can't control it. So he's becoming gradually like an internally displaced politician, an IDP. So he brought it upon himself. So whether Tinubu discards him or not, what about Ganduje? Okay, fine. Tinubu patronized him until Kwankwaso demystified him in Kano. That set the stage, of course, to say Ganduje get out. That they could displace. I mean, yes. So, I mean, who says if you remove rigging and violence, Who says that Wike can be of any significance in Rivers State? How many people will listen to Wike today on a good day in Rivers State? Look at the rubbish he tried in Bayelsa, and they told him that that if he tried, they would deal with him. Did he go to Bayelsa? He went, he ran away. Has he been there since then? You know, he said that any governor who confronts him that he will cause violence in his state. Why hasn't he gone to your state? He should have gone to your state. He should have, and let me see whether he will escape. He should let him go to your state if he's so strong, or let him go to Zamfara where there's PDP. Let him go to any of the PDP states. Let him go to Osun State. You know, even though the governor there has moved to Accord. You know, so that tells you it's all about noise, because he has some sections of the media in his pocket. You know, so from time to time he will call them for a media chat and rant and rant and rant. But that's the end of the story. He has no political value. He doesn't have any political value any longer. Nobody listens to him. So, and you know, Tinubu is going to need a master stroke to dislodge Wike, and it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. It's not difficult. You know, because if they can put pressure on the speaker, Amewule, to resign. Yes. There were rumors that was going to be impeached, but he can be put under pressure to resign. Yes. And when he resigns, that's the end of the story. So all this one Wike just doing up and down is to gain Tinubu's attention, because he doesn't have direct access to Tinubu. That's all. Nothing else. He can't do anything right now. He has actually failed woefully. You know, take it to the bank. So that's why you see him making all this noise. There's no impeachment. It's all a waste. It's just a wasted game. Martin Amewule, you know, is thinking, oh, if you impeach the governor and the deputy, then he will be the acting governor for 3 months. Then he will now be in a position to choose delegates, you know, to choose candidates. He will now be in charge of the selection process. Because, you know, very soon you'll start talking of party primaries, so that he will be in a position to choose candidates, you know, for position of governor and all of that, and possibly even push himself forward.
Yeah,
you know, we know all of these things.
Yeah.
But we cannot. He just wastes. You see, the problem with some of these young guys, you know, some of these small boys, is that they don't know when, you know, when they are crossing, you know, when they are making themselves irrelevant. Too much ambition makes them think, you know, they are just that they are there. Whereas you are no longer there, you are out. And you're going to see what will happen by next week. You'll see what will happen. You know, all this rubbish is going to be put in the trash can. You will see what will happen by next week. You know, because I know definitely, I mean, the utterances Wike has made here and there, you know, I think he has, actually, got to the end of his political career. And take that from me, you know, because what is all this? You are blackmailing Tinubu, blackmailing everybody, insulting No. You don't do that. Thank you.
Yes, Emeka, thank you so very much. We really do appreciate your time. It's actually quite strange how that adults that little kids should learn from do not conform to rules of engagement. It's on public domain. When Wike was asked by a broadcaster or journalist about the issue Tinubu has at the time with Ambode and Godfatherism, he said that Ambode should resist Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he equally stated that Godfatherism would never work in Rivers State. He never knew that a time would come, but he would be the one enforcing what he had called out for. And that is how politics work in Nigeria, unfortunately. But of course, it's often said that what we speak out, you know, goes around as a boomerang. It has a way of coming around. He said if Siminalayi Fubara becomes a governor yet again, that his political career will be dead. Let's hope and see if that political career will be, of course, buried by the time Siminalayi Fubara becomes the governor yet again. It's a developing story. Right here on Enterprise Television, we promise to bring them to you very good and well garnished. We promise you. And that's our time for today. Thank you so very much, Emeka, for being here. I truly do appreciate you, as always. All right, people, that's the time. We'd love to say thank you. Please do well to follow us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. Also, do well to rewatch, download, share to your friends and folks when you visit us at Enterprise TV 7. Henry Gwibike is my name. Thank you for being a part of our show today. Have yourself a splendid weekend. God bless you. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye-bye.